Hello, this is Mrs. Popel. On my last Fri-yay, I talked about going to visit Manor Woods, which is a local spot near where I live. I took some pictures while I was there and I thought I would share them with you and also tell you a little bit about our walk. So here is Exploring Manor Woods. So here is a map of where Manor Woods Valley is. We walked a little bit to get here, in fact we ran. And as you can see, the entrance to it is tucked away in an industrial estate. So it's really not what you'd expect. It's surrounded by garages and there's a petrol station and lots of sort of warehouses and things like that. But if you just walk through the gateway, it's a different world. So coming from a main road and an industrial estate, you step through a gate and this is what you're greeted with. There's trees and plants and flowers. There's a path that runs through it, which is a tarmacked path, which is useful. So we just ran down the path to see where it took us. It was really lovely to get out into a bit of nature and forget the sort of built up and here we are just having a run around, and as you can see there's no one about, which is lovely, so we could easily socially distance and we could just get out and have a bit of fun. So we walked down this path for a little bit and then, so you'll see on the next slide, we came to an information board which told me a few things that I had no idea about. So apparently Manor Woods Valley is actually in the Doomsday Book. The Doomsday Book was from the Middle Ages. They did a big survey of the country, and Manor Woods Valley is mentioned because it was land attached to a big manor house in Bishopsworth, which is still there, but it's not a manor house anymore. And as you can also see, it used to be a landfill site. So once upon a time, this was a quarry where they quarried for clay, and then in the 1960s it said it became a landfill, which is where people threw their rubbish, so people who were living in the city. And then after that they decided to put grass over it and make it into a nature reserve, which is really amazing that it's gone from a place where people put their rubbish to such a lovely place. You'll see how lovely it is in the picture. This is the meadow, so it's a big expanse of grass. It's cut quite short at the moment, but I imagine in the summer when it's full of wildflowers, it would be absolutely beautiful. It was not the most sunny of days, but it was still really lovely. There are a few people here walking, running and walking their dogs, so just a really nice place for the community to use. Here's where we did a little bit more exploring. So running through Manor Woods Valley is a river known as the Malago. The Malago is a tributary, which is a little river that runs into the big river, which is the Avon, which goes through the centre of Bristol, flows through the centre and beyond. So there's a river then that runs through, and as you can see in some of the pictures, you can follow a path along the river. Here we are running up the path that runs by the river. It was quite a steep and hilly path and at times was quite muddy with lots of tree roots sticking out of it. On the photo you can probably make out, although it is a bit blurry, there was lots of wild garlic around, which grows in woodlands at this time of year and it has a very distinctive smell. There was also lots of birds in the trees singing. So as we were making our way along the winding path through the woods, at times we were quite far away from the river, we were quite high up. This is one of the times you can just see the river below. I imagine there's lots of wildlife lives in this area. I know not far away there's a river where otters live, so I wonder if they also live here too. Here we are at the end of the river path. And as you can see, we're quite close to the water's edge here, and there are some stepping stones that go to the other side of the river. I imagine in the summer it's a lovely place to observe the different life that lives in rivers and streams. I imagine there's lots of tadpoles and fish and other insects. So it'd be a lovely place to return to then. And here I am at the end of our explore of Manor Woods Valley. It was a really lovely place to go, and somewhere I've lived in South Bristol for a long time that I've never been before. I wonder if there's anywhere near you that you've never been before. We walked there, we walked around it. It cost absolutely nothing to do, but we just had a lovely time, and it was felt really special to be able to do. I hope you enjoyed the pictures of my exploring Manor Woods. It's always lovely to get out and about and go somewhere that you've not been before. As long as we're maintaining a 2 metre distance from other people and we're not going out for too long, then we can go wherever we can get to, and just that's part of the fun, going somewhere and not really knowing what you're going to do. So I hope it inspires you to do the same.